My old broadcast partner. Marian, can you hear Ann?
Hi, Ann.
Hi, Marian. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Really good. It's nice to see you. Kat, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How are you, Ann?
Hey, everybody. Ann Schatz here. Delighted to have you with us as we go deep inside the vaults one more time. And so happy to have two of my very favorite Portland Thorns with us today. Kat Williamson, Marian Dougherty. Give us a wave. Give us a wave.
Hey, Ann.
Hi, everyone.
Ladies, we are going to talk about your huge impact in the 2013 NWSL Championship game. Let's go back in time. It's the first inaugural championship game of our league, 2013. You guys, standout defenders for the Portland Thorns. Take us back to the moment when you win that semifinal game against Kansas City on the road. You realize you're going to take on Western New York. They're a team that's red hot, rocking and rolling. What was the mood in training leading up to that championship game back east? Why don't you guys jump in? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we were on a pretty good high coming off that Kansas City win. I think, as we were in that game being 2-0 down and coming back and winning, and just the grit and the determination that the team showed in that semifinal game, I think really kind of brought the team even closer together. And I just remember leading up to the final, we were really tight as a team. It seemed like we were all on the same page. And I don't know, I thought it was a pretty good high we were riding up into that game.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that one. I think the only thing I remember about Kansas City was how hot it was, and my feet were on fire for the entire second half. So glad to come out with a win on that one.
So you go into this championship game. Alex Morgan is banged up. She's got that strained MCL. I think it was her left knee. Tobin's not 100% after getting stomped on in that FC Kansas City semifinal. She doesn't practice all week. So are you thinking defense is going to have to win the day against this Western New York club? Abby Wambach, Carly Lloyd, a 19-year-old Sam Kerr, Brittany Taylor. Were you thinking defense was going to have to do it?
That's a good question, Ann. For me, I think that you always believe that defense is going to have to do their part in the game to make sure that you're allowing the offense to have the freedom to kind of take over the game. But I do know that we talked a lot about the personnel on Western New York and how we were going to have to defend them. But for me, the mindset from our back four and even our defensive center mids was that we were just going to show up as we had been, and that we didn't need to change anything that we were doing just because there were certain people on Western New York. It was be cognizant of that talent, but we knew what we were doing. We'd been doing it all season. We were a really tight unit. I think the relationship that the back four had was pretty amazing. And so for us, it was just keep on doing what we needed to do to finish this game out.
Kat, what do you think? Was defense? I mean, obviously you're marking some of the greats. Were you thinking this is going to be a low-scoring game? We got to keep this tight from the very beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively, if you don't let in a lot of goals, then that allows the offense just one chance to finish, and then you win. So I think, like Marian said, we tried not to get so in our heads about focusing on the other team. It was more like, what can we control? We got to this point. Let's trust in our abilities as a back line, and including KK, and just kind of go from there.
Yeah, okay. I will say the one thing that we did kind of prioritize was, the in-air game, knowing that, that was probably where they were the strongest. So we really did focus in on how we would approach free kicks, corner kicks, and even like the crosses from the outside into the box. So that was an area that we did put a little more focus on. So, we did tailor, to the game a bit, but at the same time, it was really just maintaining what we had been doing all season long.
Okay, so Kat, you say, you play the D, and if your team gets that one chance and can get that one goal, it changes everything. All right, so let's fast forward. You're in the first half. Marian, by the way, you had a couple of through balls. You had a couple of balls that almost led to goals in that first half. Each team with chances. A.D. Franch, God bless her, the rookie goalie for Western New York, making some great saves. Kat Reynolds playing some good D. You guys were so close. They were close. And then in that 40th minute, around that time, Tobin gets dragged down. So Heath is playing on that bad ankle. All right. Okay. I just want to go to that time, frozen in time for a second. When everybody's going to watch this game, press the pause button right when Heath is stepping over that free kick. And as legend has it, Marian, Kat, jump in if you would, please. But as legend has it, Marian, Sink asks Tobes, where do you want me in the wall? And Tobin is telling her, I want you to go here or there, whatever, and the wall. And then as legend has it, Marian, you say to Tobin, where would you like me to be? And she says, you just stand there and look pretty.
Yes.
Did that really happen? Did she say that?
That is correct. That's 100% accurate.
That is incredible.
Tobin and I in sync all season long had been working on, our free kicks, and I think we had a pretty good relationship of knowing when someone was going to take one and when someone wasn't.
Okay.
And you could just tell it in Tobin's eyes and just the way she looked at us. Like, we didn't even ask her if we should take it. We just knew she was going to take it. And so I think that's why there was so much lightness in that moment of Tobin just kind of making humor of it all, because I think she was so in the zone and like, I'm taking this, that Sink and I were like, okay, you just tell us where you want us.
But I wish I could read lips, you guys.
Yeah.
But when Tobin looked at you, Marian, and said, you just stand there and look pretty. That is the classic line.
Oh, I mean, it was so good. It was so, I mean, I believe I started laughing pretty hard.
Okay. Your thoughts when all right. So again, everybody, now you can press play when you're watching this game, press play. Your thoughts, both of you, as that ball is struck from Heath. It's as good as I've ever seen. You guys.
I've never seen something like that before. I mean, just the view that I had and seeing it go past AD. And I mean, AD gave it her all. I'm pretty sure she hit the post trying to save it. But I mean, it was incredible. It's a once in a lifetime kind of finish there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like I said, I think just going back and seeing the look in her eyes, like I knew I just had this feeling that it was going to go in. And when she made contact with the ball and just how well she struck it, I was like, there's no way that's not going in.
And it's so fun to look back, the young Tobin Heath, coming back from France and not really playing a lot of games with you guys, but red hot and rolling up until she gets that ankle injury. Obviously nothing that she does surprises you, but that was a seminal moment, I would imagine, for the Thorns organization and obviously for that game.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's one that I'll always remember.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, just from the look that she gave me from that whole entire game. But also just like, she was battling an injury. Alex was, we all had our, I just come back from a knee thing. We all were pretty beat up. And I would say that was, I think, why our team became so close, is because it was like we knew that we kind of had to rely on each other.
Yep.
And really dig into a place that we knew we needed to give that last little 10%. So yeah, it was a special moment in general. Okay,
you guys go in halftime 1-0. Second half's underway. We're not that deep into the second half, and Kat, this is where you come in. No, but this is kind of a cool moment, and here's why. You pick up your second yellow of the game, and obviously escorted off the pitch. So the rookie is gone, and your club is going to play a man down, a player down the rest of the match, a long chunk. But what I remember is Karina LeBlanc being one of the first to talk to you, saying you did exactly what you were supposed to do, especially on that yellow, because you fouling Abby Wambach did not allow her to have a 1v1 against me, gave them a free kick. We were able to stop it. You did your job.
Mm-hmm.
When KK said that to you, how much did that mean to you?
I mean, it meant the world to me. Coming in and being a rookie and playing with such an experienced backline with the likes of Marian and Rachel Bueller and Nikki Marshall, and then Tina coming in towards the end there. You come in and you're kind of in awe of these players and what they've accomplished, and you want to live up to those expectations. And I think that not only KK, but the entire back line, the constant encouragement that I received the entire season. I mean, and in that moment in particular, not only KK, but I think Sink looked at me and she was like, "We got you." And that for me meant the world, because it's like, did I just lose this final for our team? And, you know, I mean, it sums up the resiliency, like Marian was saying, of our team the entire season. It was a great moment, obviously, that we won afterwards, but it was a pretty cool thing.
What were you feeling on that sideline? Do you remember as you were walking off?
And I'll be honest, I'd never gotten a red card before, so I was looking for a red card box, like in hockey. So I'm looking at the ref, like, do I sit like next to the bench? And they're like, no, like, go to the locker room.
Run along.
You got to get off. So at Western New York, the locker room was pretty far away from the field. There were no TVs. So I actually had to call my club coach to basically tell me how the game was going.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
So you're on the phone with your club coach?
Uh-huh.
And that's how you were getting the time. I mean, because this is a chunk of time we're talking.
Oh, I started crying when he told me Sink scored her second goal. I was like, oh, thank the Lord. That was for me the nail in the coffin.
Okay, so you're exiled. You might as well have been on the moon.
Yeah.
You can't see anything. You don't know anything. Thank God for cell phone connection.
Yeah.
Marian, what is the defense saying to each other? Heath comes off, subbed out. Tina Ellertson, who had just joined the team, really good defensive player, obviously, is now on the pitch. It's time to hold that lead before Sink's second goal. What were you saying to each other? What was the communication like from that midfield on back?
You know, so first and foremost, we were actually, I think the team was really proud of the way Kat handled that situation with Abby, because I do believe that she saved the game, because I think if she didn't do that, Abby probably would have scored. And it really would have changed the whole dynamic of the game. So I know it was hard on Kat, but I think that our back line gained some energy from that, of like, okay, she just sacrificed herself to kind of save this game. So we just need to make sure we're doing the same. So those were some words that we shared with each other. And then I would say that the coaching decision that Cindy had made to put Tina in was terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Bring in that speed, that energy, just the defensive mind that she has, I think really helped lift our team to also give us the energy that we needed to get through those last, however, I think it was like 15 minutes. I don't remember. I blacked out. But
I got it pretty early.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you kind of did that. You kind of did.
I do think that was a really smart coaching move on Cindy's end to do that. And it just gave us that extra little push that we needed. Especially because your legs it's a long season, your legs are tired, you're battling, your small little tweaks or injuries, and having her come in and just being able to pick up some slack, I thought was incredible. Yeah. So.
And you see Morgan, Alex is warming up, obviously, even before Ellertson comes in. But Cindy, brilliant move, I'm with you. When Morgan comes on the field and immediately makes an impact with that through ball to Sink, I mean, numbers are high, obviously, for the Flash. They're looking for the equalizer. They got to take a chance. Kat, of course, you can't see any of this, so we'll just fill you in. Yeah, we'll just fill you in. That moment, Kat, you're on the phone, but Marian, you're watching that through ball, that perfectly weighted ball into Sink, and her finish in stoppage time. The look on all of your faces.
Oh, yeah.
Help us understand what that must have felt like.
Oh, man. I mean, it was the biggest relief. Honestly, it really was. But to me, that's what makes Alex and Sink so good. One, that Alex can come on and just make that difference. And then for Sink to just be on, and, you know, Sink's watching what the defense is doing and how we're battling. And she, you know, she was also doing her part on helping that, but just being ready for that moment and taking advantage of it. Because I don't think a lot of players would have the finesse or the calmness to be able to finish that. So just the fact that those two, you know, were able to make the difference for us on the offensive end was, I mean, I'm pretty sure I had a tear because I was so relieved. And I don't cry. And I just remember being like, holy shit, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the clock, that stoppage time that went on forever, I think it was 5 minutes. It was just an eternity. Kat, you're off the hook. Marian, I'm crying too.
Yeah.
You know, I was at a watch party at the Baghdad Theater in Southeast Portland. There were watch parties all over town. They were turning people away. The town was going batty.
Yeah.
And folks, and you know, you had 100 fans there or something that made the trek. But the number of people watching you guys in that game, it was something to behold. I get the chills thinking about it now. What was the celebration like? I know Merritt and Gavin were there. Did you hook up with any fans, Merritt or Gavin? Did you have a cold one? Did you hoist the trophy with some champagne? What the heck did you do?
We had a few cold ones, Ann.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were, one, I think first and foremost, just so excited as a team and our accomplishments throughout the season and coming together. So I think it was the immediate response to just come together and celebrate as a team. And then I remember seeing Gavin and Merritt, and just, there's something about Merritt, and when he just is so excited, and I just remember him walking the pitch. You know, he's so tall and he has this presence about him, but I can picture him now and how excited he was, and just, they came straight over to our team and embraced us. And then I think a lot of us actually had some friends and family there that had made the trek out, which was amazing too, just to have that support and be able to run over to the stands and celebrate with them. And then that evening, gosh, I mean, Kat, you could probably.
Well, Kat, did you get out of house arrest?
Yeah.
That evening, I actually stayed at the hotel, and I think Marian went out and just had a lot of beers.
Sure.
So,
Okay. I was thinking maybe you're still back in the locker room. You didn't know if you should come out.
No one told me to leave, so I actually was still there.
She's actually still in Buffalo.
Yeah. I'm
That's where this is coming from.
the stadium.
I'm going to hope that you guys did it up right.
We did.
We had a great time.
We had a wonderful time. And then arriving the next day at the airport with all of our fans waiting was probably one of my favorite memories to date.
Oh yeah, hands down. That was one of the coolest experiences.
Were you expecting that?
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope.
No.
There's something about this fan base, ladies. I'm preaching to the choir here, but they started in 2013 and they have never stopped. But that welcome home championship trophy party was something to behold.
Our fans are a difference maker, and I think that is like very rare to say, and truly, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. For me, I've played on lots of teams in lots of leagues, and by far they were the difference maker and still are today. And it's incredible to see. Like it's truly incredible.
I remember even our home opener to have 17,000 fans there. I mean, they set the bar for the league, which I think is very important in a time where we're trying to push women and sport forward, and especially for soccer. I mean, it's just like Marian said, they are a difference maker, and they make us who we are and have the confidence when we step out on the field every single game.
I think back to that season, that magical season, and you guys know how it went. When the league was announced and there were allocated players, and the Portland Thorns were given, in the critics' mind, a treasure trove of allocated players. And you guys know darn well that critics were howling and the so-called experts gave you the trophy before the first game even kicked off. How could the Thorns lose? They've got all these players. It's theirs. Everybody else is just playing for second. You guys have some ups and downs. You have some legitimate lulls during the course of the regular season. And yet, you were able to find that magic at the end. You were able to be the best road team in the league. And you were able to do it when it was a one and done. Why? What happened in those closing weeks that allowed you to shuck off some of the tough times and come together in a way that truly was magical? How'd you do it?
I mean, that's a great question. I feel like when you find teammates where there's such a strong camaraderie between people, you make things happen. And it's tough when you have a target on your back. I think I've personally always enjoyed being an underdog. So coming into a team full of talent like this, I think we all realized that there were expectations that we had to live up to. But clearly, no one truly has perfection and consistency throughout a season. There's always going to be lulls. And I think the way that we were able to come together was just to lean on one another. And like Marian said, the resiliency that we had, it didn't matter if Alex was hurt. She was a huge piece of our team, but she was on the sideline encouraging us to push forward. And I think having those types of selfless personalities, Marian mentioned she got hurt. Sink had her injuries throughout the season, Tobin. To have big personalities like that still encourage you to push forward, it's a difference maker with our team.
Marian, What do you think? How are you able to do it?
I can't agree more with Kat. I also, I've been on teams where we haven't had the stacked talent that the Thorns had, and it's definitely a different path. At times it can be at your disadvantage when you're put on a team with an exuberant amount of talent, especially as I think, for the manager trying to figure out how to put all those pieces together. Mm-hmm. I think it's easy for people to look at a piece of paper and say, yes, this team should win based off the personnel.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that personalities are going to click. That doesn't mean that everyone's going to click on the pitch. So I think it took us a little time to figure out our dynamic as a team. And okay. I think those hardships really kind of made us better because it made us dig deep to figure out what kind of team we wanted to be. I think it was like, we can't just rely on talent. We can't just rely on our coach. We have to do this together as a team, and we need to figure out how to do it as a team. And everyone kind of put their personal agendas off to the side, and we really came together and focused in on, okay, we need to support each other on and off the field.
Was there a moment? Was there a moment for either one of you? And I don't mean collectively, but did you have an individual moment where you thought, I think we're going to be okay, or something feels different today, or God, I got this energy and buzz like I haven't had in a while? Was there any kind of moment, or am I glossing things a little bit, making it too Hollywood?
No, I think there was, and I can't remember like every single detail, but it was one of our we were on the road, and Kat, you can remind me, but we had just lost to someone, and we were headed back, and we were sitting in the airport, and everyone on the team was just really down. I think we had a few losses in a row, okay, and the morale was really low. And I just remember looking around us all at the airport, and it was just like, kind of like, we're either going to act this way the rest of the season and just kind of finish and be at the bottom, or we're going to turn this around. And I remember Cindy pulling Sink and Bueller aside as the captains and just having a really heart-to-heart conversation with them. And it was pretty much after that moment, they came back and talked to the team, and they were like, what are we going to do? How are we going to react to this? And I felt like that was kind of the game changer for me.
Okay.
In the way our team, we weren't going to accept being at the bottom, and we weren't going to accept anything less than winning. And so for me, that was the turning point. I just can't remember the exact game.
I think
Close enough. Kat, what do you got?
I think we were playing Boston because Alex had been pulled out because she hurt her knee. Yep. And we might have lost that game. And I think, just like you said, I mean, the morale was super low. You just lose Alex, who's injured. And I agree with Marian. I think after Sink and Rachel talked to us as a team, we kind of just looked at each other, and it's like, you can either lay down and stop fighting or stand back up, and let's kind of have higher expectations of ourselves and, come together.
When you guys go back and watch this game, will it be the first time you've revisited the 2013 championship game on the road in front of 9,000 at Salem Stadium, a 2-0 Portland win? Will this be the first time, or once in a while do you guys go back in the vault and just maybe cherry pick a moment or two from any of your favorite seasons?
Ann, I have PTSD from this game still, so it's hard for me to replay it.
Come on now.
But we won, so I'm happy with that. But I have not seen this game in quite some time.
Okay, I think, this is just my opinion, Kat, is if LeBlanc is tipping her cap to you saying, listen, what you did was exactly what I needed, then man, you got to watch this game. Marian, help me out here.
Right? We'll be watching it. Don't worry, Ann.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Now, before I let you guys go, I got to just make sure that everyone knows if you're safe, symptom-free, and above the COVID-19 fray. How are you both doing? What are you doing?
Jesus, Mayor.
Oh, geez. No.
I don't know.
We are staying healthy, safe. We are being very respectful of everyone else. We're staying home. We get out for family walks, bike rides. But no, we're doing everything we can possibly to keep the family safe and healthy, and then everyone else around us.
And a little tweak. I'm miles from you people, but you two are under the same roof? What? No, wait a second. Now.
Yeah, we are.
You're in different rooms, but you live, Kat, you're crashing at the Doughertys? What's going on?
I signed the adoption papers. I'm Kat Williamson Dougherty now, so let's just get that straight.
Whatever works, Kat, whatever works. But you guys are under the same roof. How's that going?
Great. My daughter is just a huge fan of Kat, so it's really helpful for me.
It's a good thing. Kat, are you doing any household chores to help out the Dougherty clan?
I will say this.
Yeah.
Her husband runs a tight ship, okay? When it comes to not washing certain things and the dishwasher, I got to have the knives. I'm learning. I've got a list. I think I'm doing pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kat, you're safe? You're symptom-free? You're good?
I'm great.
Okay.
My daughter's picked up a few dance moves from Kat as well.
Oh, baby. That may be another show. That may be another show. Kat and Marian, it is an absolute treat to catch up with two of the Thorns greats. I know our fans are just going to be over the moon, getting a chance to hear what you're up to reminisce about this game. Thank you so much for taking the time. It means the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. It was so
thank
wonderful
you,
to catch up.
Stay safe. See you soon.
You too.
Good.